job. I look after about 120 people, looking after the paperwork and the general welfare of the soldiers. They're your family when you're away on operations. Out here, I'm also used as a female searcher.
OK, let's go.
This film continues at armyjobs.mod.uk.
Before she drowned, your wife sustained injuries consistent with a fall.
What if the dead made contact?
Jonathan. I've been receiving messages from her, from the other side.
But is it just the loved ones? Michael Keaton in White Noise. The Sunday night premiere, Sunday at 10 on 4.
Now to get you in the mood for the Cheltenham Festival, here's Channel 4 Riesen's Morning Line.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darley, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
We're just hours away from the start of this year's Cheltenham Festival, and this magnificent amphitheatre is set to come alive. The top jockeys, horses and trainers will be competing for the richest and most coveted prizes in jump racing. We'll be bringing you all the action every step of the way, with over 20 hours broadcast throughout the week. All the emotions that this field of dreams can bring to the brave and the fearless over the next 4 days. Your Cheltenham Festival starts here. Yes, good morning, and what a start to Cheltenham 2008. It is a lovely mild morning. The sun is shining here at Cheltenham, and it's all a bit different from yesterday when 70-mile-an-hour winds threatened to blow this place apart. There was a bit of damage, but as the Times report, strong winds failed to blow Cheltenham off course. We did lose one or two roofs, but all we're going to have to do today is rehouse a few hospitality clients, so things are looking much better this morning here at Cheltenham. Conditions ideal. We're here live in the Centaur, just across the road from the stables. But what's it like out on the track? What are conditions like? Alice Plunkett is out on the track. Good morning, Alice. What's the news?
Oh, my goodness. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. Can you believe it? We're just hours away from the start of the 2008 Cheltenham Festival. It's beautiful sunshine. We're set fair for a fantastic week. And I'm joined by Simon Clace, who's the clerk of the course here. And Simon, I think you've had a torrid time, but everything looks great.
It's been quite challenging, but we've come through it. The course is in great nick. We've got all the wings back up today. We just dropped them on Friday as a precaution. And, yeah, it's looking fantastic. We've had a lot of compliments from jockeys and trainers. Good soft ground today. May get a little bit of light rain later this morning, but it should be through by about 1 o'clock.
You had to make the decision to put the water on. Do you feel now that that was a good decision?
Absolutely right. It wasn't until last Thursday that John Ketley, who we use as a forecaster, or the Met Office said there would be any appreciable rain on Monday. We got the ground to good before it came. I think it's made it absolutely spot on. If we hadn't have been there and the rain hadn't have come, this ground would have been good to firm.
Mm-hmm. How much rain did you actually have yesterday?
We had 13 millimetres between round about 4 o'clock in the morning and midday, just after midday, and it's now been dry since 2:30 yesterday afternoon.
Well, it should be absolutely perfect. And what's most important is perfect safe ground.
Absolutely right. And it looks as if we'll get a little bit of rain throughout the week to keep it just where we want it.
OK, well, we can't wait, Tommy.
When we'll be back with you, she's going to get interviews, lots of jockeys, horses, trainers out on the track. And one amazing fact this week, incredibly, is that all 4 big winners from last year come here again trying to retain their titles. This afternoon, it's the turn of Sublimity. He's the first to put his title on the line in the big race, the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. Tomorrow, Voy Per Estes aims to win the season's holidays Queen Mother Champion Chase for the 2nd year running. On Thursday, Ingolf Straver goes for a 3rd successive win in the big race there, the Ladbroke World Hurdle. And then on Friday, Kauto Star faces his biggest ever test as he goes for another win in the Tote Sport Cheltenham Gold Cup. Now, who have we got on the panel for the opening day? We've got a star-studded lineup. From the right, I suppose we go in age as well. We've got Ted Walsh, we've got John Frankham, we've got Jim McGrath, some money with us this morning. And who have we got over there? We've got the beautiful Tanya on the right, and Big Mac, who's just tucked his big belly into his trousers, which was not a pretty sight. Good job that was not live on Channel 4. Now, also live this morning, we have a very special guest, a young man who could have a very, very good day. Now, a few years ago, this man was at school just down the road at Cheltenham College. He used to take a day off school to ride here at Cheltenham. Today, he's got horses to look forward to, like Loch Derg. This is the horse who leads the Order of Merit. And today, in the Champion Hurdle, he gets the leg up on Osana for his retaining stable of David Pipe. The man I'm talking about is our special guest. He's aged a bit in the past few years. Tom Scudamore. Tom.
Speak for yourself, Derek.
Oh, thank you very much. Tom, great to have you. Shush, guys. Listen, Osana, we haven't seen him for a long time. What's the news?
He's in tremendous order. I went down and schooled him on Saturday morning, and he felt as well as he's ever done. He feels like he's improving all the time, and just can't wait for the race to get underway.
This could be the dream come true, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, it's not very often you get to sit on a live chance in the Champion Hurdle, but he's in great order, and the team have done a fantastic job, and yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
We're all looking forward to it. Big Mac, headlines. Front page today?
Front page, virtually every paper. Absolutely amazing, the coverage that is given. And these are all free offers for people. In the Mirror, it's Cheltenham free £2 matching bet. In the Star, I'll make no comment on the rest of the front page of the Star, but free £5 Cheltenham bet. I think we'll linger on that one a bit. £5 Cheltenham bet. In the Express, also free £5 bet, 8-page guide inside. And the Sun tops them all, £6 worth of free bets. So go around, get your paper, go around to your local betting shop. But the Telegraph, they're a bit more staid. They say a free Cheltenham DVD, which would be very nice, and I'm sure the greatest jockey will feature on that. Front page 2 of the Independent, lovely picture here of the Independent. That's Beantown, who runs here tomorrow. Great shot, that, of the storm clouds over Cheltenham. And the local paper, the Gloucestershire Echo, has absolutely excelled. A magnificent supplement in the Gloucestershire Echo. And the piece I like best was 90-year-old Jack Dowdeswell, a great veteran of Cheltenham. And he says here, this is interesting, the greatest jockeys he's seen are Tony McCoy and Ruby Walsh. Why he doesn't bring you in, greatest jockey, I do not understand it. But he says here, he talks about Sir Gordon Richards. He was the greatest I've seen. I rode work with him and he was dynamite. He had this wiggle and made horses stretch. I've never seen anyone, including Lester Piggott, who had that technique, the great man Jack Dowdeswell, and he'll be here in his 91st year. Also, the Irish Independent, sponsoring the Arkle, of course, today. Crock of Gold, punters primed to go in search of a Cheltenham fortune. And a terrific piece from Frank Keating in The Guardian talking about the Irish connection. He says that Cheltenham is a secular shrine for pilgrims. Cheltenham matches the religious ones of Knock and Lourdes. And there's also an extraordinary piece here about Stephen Moss, also in The Guardian. Not all favourable towards racing, by the way, but nevertheless, with plenty of heart. Yes, animals die and gamblers lose their homes, but don't let that put you off. The Cheltenham Festival is an experience like no other, says lifelong horse racing fan Stephen Moss. And our own Fat Al, the Racing Post. You can be so proud who work in the Racing Post of your product today. Absolutely magnificent, the trade paper. Tremendous stuff you've done. And Fat Al leads the way. The stage is set for Jumping's Theatre of Dreams. And the great jockey John Frankham says here in The Sun, hang on to your hats for a thriller. Well, we'll certainly all do that. Richard Hoyles in Racing Ahead weekend. Time for the talking to stop. All the talking, all the hype, it's now coming to an end. The action begins today. And the greatest news, of course, Tony McCoy is back. And in his piece in the Telegraph, binocular case, makes the case for the 4-year-old in the opening race. But the horse he doesn't like, he says, I don't fancy the favourite An Accordion in the 4 o'clock. Don't back that, according to the champ. And the horse he does like, his best bet of the day, Prince Eric, he said, in the Fred Winter. But it was so special to see that magnificent legend back again at Sandown. What a tough character, what a man he is. And in the betting that they are going for the top jockey at the meeting. And remember, Tony McCoy, although he is the top jockey at Cheltenham with 19 festival winners, only 5 winners in his last 100 rides at the festival. Extraordinary. Last 100 rides, only 5 winners. And he's put in now a 6-1 second favourite behind Ruby Walsh at 11-10, Robert Thornton at 10-1, 12 Sam Thomas, 14 Mick Fitzgerald, 16 David Russell, and among the 25-1 chances, our own here, Tom Scudamore.
Yeah, what about that? 25 to 1. I'd rather like the sound of that.
See you again at the end of the week.
Charlie, what's the news on the exchanges so far?
Well, no surprise, plenty of fluctuations leading right up until off time. The Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices, we'll start with that straight away. A positive for Binocular and Muirhead, negative for Captain Seaby, as Max already mentioned. And Accordion is a negative in the William Hill Trophy, along with Aforel Dairy. And a big positive today is Noland. Way back when markets opened, someone out there got 60 and 55, so 59 to 1 and 54 to 1 on Noland. It's nearly only 2 to 1. So if you fancy Noland, Hills, Coral, Ladbroke, Stan James and Bet Director all 9 to 4. It probably won't be there very longer. Cougar Rover, that's another positive in the Arkle. And in the Champion Hurdle, Sizing Europe, it's currently drifting out. Sizing Europe was 11 to 4 briefly this morning at around 7:30. It's just under that now. Someone out there got 149 to 1 way back when. Big positives, though, for Asana and Catch Me. Asana was 299 to 1 and now right into under 11 to 2. That's the big positive in the Champion Hurdle. Now, have you got any email thoughts leading into the Cheltenham Festival? Had plenty already which suggest, is this the year of the underdog? The president has been set this week with the football, with all the big ones being knocked out. I can't see any Premier League. I can see plenty of Premier League yards like Nichols, Pipe, Henderson and Hobbs not having any winners, and that was from Jeff Worrell. If you agree or disagree, racing@channel4.com.
There's a first prize of £205,000 awaiting the winner of this year's Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. 17 horses declared, many of them out on the track. Number 1 is Afsoon Mick Fitzgerald, 33 to 1. 2, Blythe Knight, Dougie Costello, 50 to 1. 3, Bob's Pride, Dennis O'Regan, 66 to 1. 4, Catch Me, Ruby Walsh, 12 to 1. 5, Contraband, 1,000 to 1. Tom Draper. Number 6, Ebba Zayan, won the Supreme Novices here last year. David Condon, double carpet, 33 to 1. 7, Farmer Brown, Davy Russell, leading jockey in Ireland this season, 50 to 1. 8, Archibald, Paul Carberry, 15 to 2. 9, Kildare on David Casey, 100 to 1. 10, Catch It, aiming to become the first horse since Persian War to win the Triumph and the Champion. Chocolate Thornton, 10 to 1. Number 11 is Kawagina, Wayne Kavanagh, 250 to 1. 12, Osana, the mount of our special guest this morning, Tom Scudamore, and 11 to 2 shot. 13, Punjabi, Barry Geraghty, 33 to 1. 14, Salford City. Some people say there's a doubt about this horse running. We're checking that out. It's Nina Carberry on board at 200 to 1. 15, the favourite, Sizing Europe, Andrew McNamara, 5 to 2. 16 is Strawbear, the mount of the champion jockey, Tony McCoy, 28 to 1. 17, Sublimity, last year's winner, Philip Carberry, top priced 6 to 1. Let's start by looking at Osana. Now, this is Osana beating Catch It, Sublimity, Afsoon, Strawbear here at Cheltenham in December. Tom, you didn't ride the horse that day, but you ride him today. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I was a very interested spectator this day, unfortunately. Osana really jumped and ran them into the ground, and a repeat of that sort of performance today, we'll see him go very, very close, obviously. He was getting weight off the likes of Catch It and those because it wasn't a grade 1 that day, but, you know, he gave him a comprehensive beating, and I think on this sort of form, he's one they've all got to beat.
Why hasn't he run since then?
There's no real reason. He was ready to run. There were options for him at Haydock and and at Wincanton and the Kingwell, but we just decided to wait and come straight for the champion. But he's in great order, and we couldn't be happier with him.
There's a £200,000 bonus from Boar Sports if you win today, which is good.
We'll worry about winning first.
Well, absolutely. Can he win? What do you think, Ted?
I suppose he can. I mean, if you fancy Sizing Europe, you have to fancy Osana. He was getting a £6 off of Sizing, or giving £6 of Sizing Europe back here in November. So there's not a lot to choose between them. If you fancy one, you have to fancy the other.
Sublimity on that day was as big and as fat as John McCrick, though, wasn't he? I mean, he's obviously an awful lot.
I don't know if he was that big. He was. That's a big. He definitely was in need of the run, and they were happy with the way he ran.
News coming in, Salford City is a non-runner. Salford City does not run. Nina Carberry is out. That's a shame, because it would have been Nina and Philip and Paul, the 3 Carberrys together. That is a shame. What about Osana? Franks, are you an Osana
Well,
man?
he jumps like a champion hurdler, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he might just get a soft lead. He's got a really good cruising speed. You know, you think that he's running the county hurdle last year, same as Archibald. You think, is it good enough to be champion hurdle class? But, you know, they keep coming through, don't they? Keep improving.
And the stable's in red-hot form, Jimbo.
Yeah, in terrific form, and he's a progressive horse. And I mean, when he won the day Tom's just taken us through, and there was some suggestion in some quarters that Paddy Brennan had nicked it at the start. But if you actually break it down and analyse some sectionals against the juvenile race that day, that's not true. You know, he was just really good on the day. You were particularly taken with his jumping, weren't you, John?
Well, he just, every time he got to a hurdle, he took a length out of them. And, you know, this Archibald is a really fluent jumper. Strawberry, I think, has improved a little bit. But, you know, if things go his way and he gets out in front and he's allowed a soft lead, I think it'd be a difficult horse to peg back. Has he improved a lot, Tom, since that last run?
I think so. He feels a lot stronger again. And, you know, he's done nothing but improve all season, really. And, you know, he feels in really good order and, you know, he's fit and healthy. You can't ask for any more than that.
Well, he's a contender today, but he is going to win. He's got to beat the reigning champion, and that is Sublimity. Franks, what are your thoughts?
Well, he's an interesting horse, this. He was fourth in the novice hurdle. Then he came and absolutely hosed up when he won the champion hurdle last year. And, well, we could have a really good finish today with two brothers, Philip Carberry on this horse and brother Paul on Archibald. That would be something to savour. But, no, he's a good horse. You write him off at your peril, I'd say.
OK, what about Catch It and Blythe Knight? This is Wincanton.
Well, Catch It's one of the most consistent horses in training. Last year's Triumph Hurdle winner. At his very best, he was entitled to win this. That was an uncharacteristically awkward jump. He usually jumps for fun. But he gallops and stays on strongly and eventually runs the finish out of the second horse here, Blythe Knight, at Wincanton. It was the perfect tune-up. But Ted took you through earlier, mentioned he was giving Osana weight, but even so he was well beaten at Cheltenham. And although he'll run well and the ease in the ground will suit him, the extra rain will suit him, he could well make the frame. I just doubt personally whether he's fast enough to win.
He's a real tough, genuine little horse with a heart as big as a lion. So that is Catch It. But what about the favourite, Sizing Europe? Ted, this horse was mighty impressive.
Yeah, if you really take this, if your eyes don't deceive you, this horse had two good horses, Hardy Eustace and All Ella, on their bended knees a mile from home. Jumps the last, big and clean. People say he jumps a little high, and maybe he does, but he jumps quick enough. He's a good leaper. He travelled through the race with such authority. If that performance is to be believed, he's going to be very difficult to beat in Champion Hurdle.
There's a very interesting front page this morning. Big Mac, you were saying the Racing Post. I think the Racing Post has been superb. But on the front page here, this jumping, it jumps. Some people say it jumps too high.
Well, he jumps a little clean. Yeah. I mean, Don Run used to jump that way, didn't stop or win the Champion Hurdle. I mean, horses, that's his style. I mean, you'd imagine looking at him, he'd make a nice chaser. Whether he will or not, time will tell. But he jumps high, but he jumps quick.
It's interesting. Actually, the man who's going to ride him this afternoon, Andrew McNamara, is live out on the course now with Alice.
Yeah, Tomo, Andrew McNamara joins me now. Super cool, very relaxed. I can't get over how tall you are.
Yeah, big enough. It doesn't help, but what can you do? Well,
luckily you got a big horse to take you around in the Champion Hurdle. They're talking about his jumping there, Sizing Europe. And what sort of feel does he give you? He looks pretty quick over his fence, but he does give them a bit of air.
Yeah, he does give him a bit of air, which a lot of people have commented on, but he attacks his hurdles, so on the approach he definitely doesn't lose any ground, and he jumped every bit as quick as Hardy Eustace and All Ella did last time, so hopefully it won't affect him.
And he seems to land galloping as well, which is the key, isn't it?
Yeah, he does, yeah. He does sort of jump big and leave the legs dangling, but he's quick away and quick down to them.
Now, this is obviously a massive day for you and for Henry de Bromhead. How confident are you feeling behind this lad?
I suppose you have to be confident going out there. You have to presume, you know, he's going to run his race and that, and hopefully everything will work out. You know, it's a wide open Champion Hurdle, but he's going in with a big shout.
We've got Tom Skew there in the studio. He's presumably, you must feel your main rival, do you, with Osana, or where else do you see the dangers coming from?
As I said, it's probably wide open. You'd have to definitely fear Osana. There wouldn't be much between them here on the Greatwood form, and then you've last year's winner Sublimity and the likes of Catch It. Afsoon was only just beaten last year, and I won on Catch Me and Gorn. You know, he mightn't be too far away either.
I know you probably want to keep your cards close to your chest, but tactics-wise, there's no doubt we're going to have a pace, that's for sure.
Tom is looking at this. I presume he's going to go out and go a gallop and set it all up for me nicely.
So you went quite wide at Leopardstown, and he was travelling very, very well throughout the race. Was that the plan?
Well, I'd walked the track and felt that's where the best ground was. That's why I went that wide. Mightn't go quite so wide today. We'd be trying to get a clear run, but you know, I'd probably get him to settle off another horse.
You got a busy day as well. 2 rides before the champion, which is probably a relief. What's the pick of the rest of your rides today?
I like Tranquil Sea, the horse in the first. It might just his 3 runs over hurdles have been over 2-2. It might just be on the short side for him, but he's a lovely horse. He'll be a good chaser next year, and hopefully he can do something today.
Well, listen, best of luck. Let's hope that you bag the big one.
Thank you very much.
By the way, you mentioned there, Tom, are you going to jump off and set it up for all these late finishes?
No, hopefully we won't set it up for the late finishes. You know, he's a versatile horse. He can be ridden anyway. Obviously, he did make all when he won the Beulah, but he was held up when he was second in the Greatwood behind Sizing Europe, giving him all that weight. So he's a very versatile horse. We'll just see how the race pans out.
16 miles now, of course, Salford City out. It's going to be a fast pace all the way. That could set it up for a fast finisher like Archibald. Now, we've been over to see him. Alice has been over to meet the man who trains him, and he is the Irish champion trainer, Noel Meade.
It's been a difficult time since Christmas for Irish champion trainer Noel Meade, but despite that, he heads to the Cheltenham Festival with high hopes for the stable star, Archibald. Well, Noel, great to see Archibald looking in such great shape. He's clearly a horse you love.
Yeah, I suppose he's caused plenty of controversy over the last couple of years, but like, I mean, he's a real star for us, you know. He has enormous potential, and he's on his day. He's probably as good as there is anywhere, you know.
You always very much jump to his defence. I was reading after he won the Fighting Fifth, you were saying, well, that's great, that hopefully silences his critics, and there are people who don't understand him. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know many Grade 1s he's won now and how many races he's won, but I think they've been very hard on him, you know. I'm really looking forward to telling Jim McGrath to shove his time form squiggle up his to be honest with you.
When he wins, he looks so flash, and as you said, he's multiple Grade 1 winner now, and yet it's must be so frustrating for you and for Paul that he's more remembered for the champion hurdle he supposedly lost.
Yeah, I think that race, you know, it's I've looked at it a few times since, I suppose. I've looked at it lately more times than I did even at the time, because I didn't really want to see it again at the time. But I don't know. It just the way it happened, he just got there too soon, you know. And Paul was in a very difficult situation. And I think if he had gone on with him when he jumped the last, I don't think it would have made any difference. I think it would have been a mistake. I think what people are trying to forget about that particular race is the horses that he was racing against. Like, he had two of the toughest battlers that we've had for years, like Brave Inca and Hardy Eustace. You know, like, I mean, they're two fantastic. Hardy Eustace is a fantastic horse. He's a hell of a horse, and there's no disgrace in Archie getting beat by him. You know, and he had Brave Inca behind him. He came on and won a champion hurdle the following year. I think that it's been very hard on him to criticise him for that.
So the best chance for the meeting?
Archie's the star at the moment.
He's a real star, isn't he? His car needs a clean, mind you. Jim McGrath, 9 wins, 27 starts, 439,000. What's this squiggle, just so people don't know?
Remember the Christmas hurdle?
Yes.
What happened there?
He was out-battled.
That's why he's got a squiggle.
But just explain, a squiggle means you think a horse is...
No, we draw to attention people that back horses that he might be a bit of a twicer. He's a fine horse with it, but he's a bit of a twicer.
A twicer. Listen, what wins today? Are you tipping him to win?
No.
No, I thought not. What do you fancy?
No, to be honest, I think one of the younger horses will win. I think Sizing Europe, Asana, Catch It. The winner will come from that trio.
Give us the winner.
Sizing Europe.
You got it. John Frankham.
Asana, and I've had a little bit on Strawberry. I think on his day he's a good horse.
Big price each way. Ted Walsh.
I think Sizing Europe, if what I saw at Leopardstown is true.
Say no more. And Tom.
Asana.
How did I know you were going to say that? I don't know. I
Tom,
think
what do you
might
think
be
is your
second.
main danger?
Obviously, I was impressed with Sizing Europe in Ireland. I think Sublimity will improve for his run in the Beulah in December, and he's obviously the reigning champion as well. Of the bigger price horse, I think Punjabi could run a big race, but he ran a tremendous race at Newbury. But I agree. I think Sizing Europe was very impressive in Ireland, and he's definitely going to be there or thereabouts.
It's a cracking race. It's live this afternoon, and the weather is set fair. I think Sizing Europe's going to take the beating, but what do you think? This is what it looks like above Cheltenham at the moment. It's a beautiful blue sky. Conditions ideal, Franks?
Yeah, first 4 races, each one of them worth walking a long way to watch, but you don't have to do that. You can see them all here on Channel 4, and they're going, as you heard Simon Clay saying earlier, good to soft in places on the cross-country course.
So just to stress what John said, the first 4 live on Channel 4 and indeed Racing UK, and the remaining 2 exclusive to Racing UK, satellite channel 432, and Racing UK coverage of the festival begins as soon as the morning line finishes, with extended previews of all the 6 races. And there's heads on the ground in the cross-country. Ash Kazar going for that 75 grand bonus in the Fred Winter after winning last Saturday's Sunderland's Imperial Cup at Sandown.
Just the one non-runner we've given you earlier in the 3:15, the Kappa champion hurdle number 14, Salford City.
On an update on the market moves since I last spoke to you, looking at the exchanges, particularly WBX and BetDAC, they're edging, well, you're edging the price out of Sizing Europe towards the 11-4. Khyber Kim is now favourite for the Supreme Novices, and Ash Kazar is a massive positive. Mac?
Well, Sublimity and Quarto Star defending their titles, around 14-1, the double that they'll complete it again, but only twice have the reigning champions come back and successfully defended their crowns. First time was 1950 with Hatton's Grace and Cottage Rake for Vincent O'Brien, Insurance and Golden Miller in the 30s. 28 times they both come back, and only twice has it been successful. So it's pretty hard for Sublimity and Quarto Star. And just to say, of course, they're building up still for the great clash on Friday, the greatest show on turf. That's what the Daily Mail goes and says, Flash Harry for Harry Findlay. And the Mirror actually says the Prince of Punters, Harry Findlay, exclusive. Well, whatever Richard Smith said, whatever else, we've had Richard, we've had Harry Findlay on every day, every programme, every paper.
He's got a big mouth like yours, just noticed that. Listen, we must take a break. We must take a break. And last year, who could forget it? This is what the scenes are like when you win the champion hurdle. That's it. Philip Carberry pointing down to Sublimity. Can Sublimity win it again for the Hennessy family and trainer John Carr? Here's a turf trivia. Can you work this one out? Former top trainer Martin Pipe saddled which 2 winners of the champion hurdle in the 1990s? Answer after this.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darling, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
From the director of Independence Day and the Day After Tomorrow. (10,000 BC).
Ready? Yep. Go. Stop. Ready? You know what? A V-neck might help your neck.
The new spring collection. Order today, delivered tomorrow. Littlewoodsdirect.com, the home of big brands.
At Orange, we know that everyone is different. That's why we give our customers the freedom to choose between 4p monthly phone packages. Canary, raccoon, panther, and dolphin. From unlimited calls to unlimited texts, we have a plan to suit you.
Mood swing? Mode swing. By just a touch. New from LG, the KF600.
It's Challenge Churchill time, and here's your host, Kim from Bedford.
OK, Churchill, your time starts now. Do you check your car insurance prices weekly to keep them competitive?
Oh, yes.
Correct. Have you reduced prices in thousands of postcodes?
Oh, yes.
Correct. What part of a car?
Crankshaft.
Correct. Maximum points and still car insurance through it all. It's Churchill.
We're saving Britain millions. To Challenge Churchill, call or go online.
Buy any drink and play Subway Scrabble for a chance to win food and drink instantly. Plus collect letters and win holiday vouchers and other prizes. Subway. Eat fresh.
Sam's making Rice Krispie cake show.
Rice Krispies. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Put it in there?
Yeah. All melted. Yum. Rice Krispies into the bowl. You've got to be careful not to go too fast because otherwise it will come out and then lick it.
Get straight to the point with teletext on Channel 4. For the latest information fast, just press text.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darling, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
Welcome back to the Morning Line. We're live here at Cheltenham, which former top trainer Martin Pipe settled which two winners of the champion hurdle in the 1990s they were. Granville again in 93, Make a Stand in 97. And I must tell you, Granville again, of course, our special guest this morning is Tom Scudamore. Who wrote Granville again?
My old man.
Your old man. And where were you at the time? How old were you?
I was 10. I was meant to be in a lesson at school, and I was hiding, listening to it on the radio.
Were you?
So, yeah.
And did you go back in and say, yes?
Not quite. I did. I was obviously very excited, but no, it was a tremendous day.
Ah, lovely. How's the old man? Is he all right?
Yeah, he's in very good form.
The old man. I like the way you call him that, Peter Scudamore, of course. Let's go outside, because a lot is happening outside. Noel Meade on the right, Irish champion trainer. Paul Carberry on the left. Of course, we talked about Archie Pauls. And they've got Muirhead running in the first race today, the 2 o'clock, the Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices. Now, this Muirhead won the Royal Bond and beat Cork All-Star. And what do you think? This is a good trial, Ted.
Yeah, it was a good enough trial. Cork All-Star didn't jump the last grade, dragged his old tail end through it, landed in a bit of a heap here. Watch him just going through the last. He's the horse in green there. That's Cork All-Star, Muirhead coming there on his far side. A couple of horses behind her ran well since. What do you think? Went on and won at Christmas, and Gerard running the County Hurl ran well also. Just watch old Cork All-Star, lands in a bit of a heap, and Muirhead gets a run on him. But Cork All-Star has run back well again, and Muirhead hasn't run since. A lot of people, including myself, thought maybe if Cork All-Star had jumped the last, there wouldn't have been a lot choose between the two of them.
I'm going to keep you up because Captain Seaby is a major contender here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's a hell of a horse. I've loved him since I saw him win on the flat in Killarney. He won a bumper. He's got loads of speed and jumps like a buck. He wouldn't want the ground to be any slower than it is. Whatever he might do here, I think he'll make a smashing 2-mile chaser someday. He's a horse I'd give a big each-way chance to. He's a lovely cruising speed. Bucket loads of speed. Whether he's mature enough for 2 miles around here yet, questionable, but he's a hell of a good horse.
And your son rides Rippling Ring, who I thought was very, very impressive when winning at Doncaster. Your son Ruby must fancy this.
I think the stable fancies him well too. He said he gives him a good feel and everything else. He's likely raced the one run. You'd like to see him jump a bit quicker than he did there. He wasn't fancied and he won well, so maybe if he's come on from then, jumped the last well enough, okay. But he's a bit more to do here than he has than winning a maiden at Doncaster.
John Frankham, can he win? He's only had the one run. I mean, he was a top-class flat horse.
Yeah, it was a good flat horse.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I thought he jumped better in the first half of the race, but a fast-run race will suit him. He was always just taking a keen grip all the way through that race. So I think it'll help Ruby if he's just going half a stride faster. It's just a question of whether he's good enough. At the end of the day, you've got to have something with plenty of heart when they turn up this hill, especially with a bit of cut in the ground now.
Jim, we always want to get off to a winning start. Everybody wants to back the first winner. Anything clear in your book?
No, I think that's the problem with the first race. That usually,
why is Tony McCoy riding Binocular in that horse?
Well, that's why I fancy Binocular. Because, well, Mr. Seaby, I think I'm right. He's come out 2 or 3 times in Ireland when the ground's been soft, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have. I don't know.
He moves like a horse that wants soft ground.
Well, I'd say he doesn't want it too soft now, but I thought Tony might have gone for him rather than Binocular, but maybe they're leaving well enough alone.
And what about you? I think you've got a very respectable chance on Blue Bajan.
Yeah, Blue Bajan. He was rated 111 on the flat. He was a very, very good flat horse. Seems to have taken well to hurdling earlier on. He ran in the Tote Sport Trophy as well last time. Me was a bit disappointing, but Andy said there are reasons for that. Andy Turnell's yard is in great form, so at a big price, he should go well.
Say no more. Ted, what wins the first?
Captain Seaby if there's an Irish winner.
You're right. OK, John Frankham?
I'm going to stick with Pigeon Island.
Pigeon Island to fly home. What about you, Jim?
Sorry.
No.
Stop me in my tracks.
Jim,
there,
it's serious.
Really. Binocular. He does, for a lightly raced horse, but he does jump well. And it's interesting, as John said a minute or two ago, Tony's gone for him rather than Captain C.
It's very interesting. Now, Big Mac was sitting down here. I think... Big Mac, where are you?
Well, in the betting ring, this is the hub of the activity, Tattersall's Ring, frenetic atmosphere, and shop around with your bookmakers, that's all I can say. Tremendous terms, free bets, they want you to bet. And I got Kate Miller, Juicy Kate Miller, I call her, Juicy, of William Hill. Juicy, is this a bigger betting meeting than, say, Royal Ascot?
This is huge. For the bookmakers, it's our Waterloo. It's the biggest betting week of the year. It's bigger than Royal Ascot, it's bigger than Aintree, although the Grand National stands apart from all betting weeks. And this, for us, is huge. It could make a difference to our share price, indeed, depending on the results. So it does make it's huge.
So we get 10 favourites in as we did the other year. That would really knock the William Hill share price.
I think you could perhaps say that. Yeah, that's definitely the case.
Well, come on, Juicy, give us your sort of concession that William Hill are offering.
Well, we've got various options. As you know, all the bookmakers are offering alternatives. William Hill are offering happy hour between 9 and 10, which is enhanced place on some of the selected runners.
It's not free drinks in your betting shops.
It isn't free drinks in our betting shops. No, we don't condone drinking and gambling. But and between 12 and 2 as well. So go onto the website williamhill.co.uk, phone the call centres, or go into one of our shops and have a look for our happy hours, 9 and 10 and 12 and 2.
Well, she's a good sales lady, that's for sure. And I got Paddy Power from Ireland. Paddy, you've got about 50 shops in this country, but does Irish results hit you harder than it would hit British bookmakers if Ireland have the plenty of winners?
It probably does. There's always a plenty of paddy whackery and patriotism when it comes to Cheltenham. It's not as bad as it used to be, because we have, like, obviously a lot of our customers now be UK based through the internet and through the telephones and that as well. So it kind of gives us a better chance to balance the book, shall we say.
Now, Ireland on the opening day for the last 9 festivals have had 2 or 3 winners, and the last time they didn't have a winner was 1994. So an Irish real start today. Is money coming in for anything special on the Irish front?
Yeah, well, Size in Europe's obviously very well backed in the Champion Hurdle. In the Supreme Novice in the first, we've got Muirhead's quite well backed as well for the Irish, and Wonder Kid, Tony Martin special in the cross-country chase. I mean, there could be 4 Irish winners today, realistically, looking at the prices. River Leanne, a lot of people snap in the last race today as well.
Who would you dread of the Irish winning as far as you're concerned?
Well, Size in Europe's going to be a bad start to the week for us, but a great start for the punters. And the thing is, last year the punters had such a hard time on day one. I think it's only fair that they get their own back this time.
And you've got a bit of a springer in the opener. Come on, tell us your springer.
Well, the gloves are off in the opener. It was 100 to 1 yesterday.
Mouse Morris.
Yeah, Mouse Morris and Michael O'Leary again. The same colours as War of Attrition, who was just touched off by Brave Inca. An extra place in the opener as well, which is good.
Right, and Juicy, for you, what's the worst result for William Hill?
Worst result for us, various, again, Size in Europe's already been mentioned. Nolan would be a bad result for us, but the one we're keen to get in, and Accordion in our race, the William Hill Trophy, we're not sure if it's going to jump round.
And Tony McCoy says that he doesn't fancy an Accordion.
Tony McCoy doesn't fancy
he
it.
said that's the one to lay, he was saying. So give us 1 horse to lay and Accordion. For Paddy Power, 1 horse to lay.
Nolan for me.
And your best bet, if you're having 1 bet today?
River Leanne in the last.
River Leanne and Juicy?
Ashkazar.
Ashkazar in the last. So there you are, there's the bookmakers feeling. But shop around all the firms, special offers. They want your custom.
Yeah, and you were saying there about an Accordion, which is the favourite that you ride in the William Hill Chase at 4 o'clock. They say you won't get round.
I hope they're all bad judges.
They are bad judges. Don't worry. Well, what is the news?
Again, he's in very good order. He was very impressive last time at Doncaster. I think Ungaro franked the form since at Doncaster behind Cloudy Lane.
Yeah.
He is £11 higher, but he's got a favourite's chance.
Only one favourite has won this race in the past 5 million years. That is a slight word. Since 77, thank you. So what wins it? Ted, what wins at 4 o'clock, the William Hill Chase?
Oh, I don't know. In each way, a chance for Patsy Hall if he came back to his very best. Tony Martin's horse there.
OK, sounds good. Franks?
I think Tom will win an Accordion, and I think Monk Austin's got a huge chance. He loves it round here and he's fresh.
And he's had a wind operation, isn't it, which could put him spot on. Jimbo?
Well, you can see why maybe 1 or 2 people are knocking an Accordion, because he is tricky, but he's talented too. He's still unexposed. It was a good race at Doncaster last time out. I think he's got to take plenty of beating. But John's made a good point about Monk Austin, and I think David Pipe's other runner, Abraganti, again a little bit of a monkey, but a fresh horse might run well at a place as well.
Chance, just quickly, anything you fancy in this?
Well, I looked at the caption there, Tomo. Looking at the exchanges, an Accordion's 7 to 1. On the caption, it was 5. He's 7 to 1. That's how big a difference. They've commented in the paper, perhaps saying that he doesn't fancy it. Tony McCoy doesn't fancy an Accordion. And Patsy Hall is almost favourite now. Tony Martin's Patsy Hall. They're both virtually 7 to 1 each of 2. My fancy in the race, Monk Austin, but he's got to defy that terrible stat that horses carrying over 11 stone Stone. They haven't really got a good record in that William Hill Trophy.
It's an interesting one, but anyway, stats are there to be broken, and you're in for some good rides. But you're not riding in the Arkle Trophy at 2:35. This is the second race that we've got live for you this afternoon. Ruby Walsh, of course, is on the favourite here, Noland, trading now. This is the best price, 9-4. Now, jumping is the name of the game here, John, and how do you reckon Noland will jump today?
Well, they've got 2 runs into him. He ran at Folkestone, ran here at Sandown, and he's hardly put a foot wrong. He travels well. He's so far the best horse in this race. You look back to the standard of horse he was beating when he won here at the festival. He was bought here. He runs well here, and Ruby just had to shake him up a bit. Psychomondo tipped up, but really and truly, they say he's come on again from there. And if that's the case, then he's a free kick in this race.
Ted, do you and Ruby sit down and go through every race like father and son and discuss things?
No.
No. So he hasn't told you a thing about this?
Yeah, he likes Noland. He likes Noland, obviously. Yeah. I mean, Noland's form over hurl sticks out. He won a real good novice hurl. Strawberry and Sublimity were behind him. Missed a year, came back. I mean, as John says, his form sticks out. You'd love the way he popped around Sandown. Yeah. And if he's improved again since, his form is there for everyone to see, and Ruby's delighted with the way he jumped.
Tom Scudamore, if you were riding in this race, which of the 14 would you like to get on?
Most definitely Noland. Again, people were crabbing his last run at Sandown, but it sort of mirrors his hurdle form before he won the Supreme Novices. He won at the Tolworth the time before he won the Supreme Novices, and wasn't overly impressive that day. And he came up and won the Supreme Novices, and I can see the same thing happening today.
Any dangers here? Are we all going Noland?
Kruger over. I'm keen on her. She's a front runner, jumps well, tough as old boots.
OK.
She did well. She won a good race at Warwick.
And Jimbo?
No, I agree with pretty much everything John and Ted have said. And Noland, if he's 100%, it'll be hard to beat.
And there's something very interesting. What's your tidbit here?
I'm claiming an anorak off of Jim. I mean, we're blitzed and smothered with stats for the Cheltenham Festival, but I haven't found anyone else who's got this quirky stat regarding the Arkle Trophy. Jockeys who have not completed the course on previous Arkles go on to win the following one. As you see, Tony McCoy didn't complete in '96. He then went on to win on All Royal, and then you go further down the list. Barry Geraghty fell in 2000. There wasn't a festival in 2001. Went on to win on Moscow Flyer. Robert Thornton, he got unseated and won on My Way to Solzen. Then, of course, those that rode in 2006, Barry Geraghty and Jamie Moore, who didn't complete, didn't have a ride in 2006. Robert Thornton won again. Now, what happened in the Arkle last year? Well, approaching 2 out, both Tony McCoy and Ruby Walsh fell on Twist Magic and Don't Push It. The pair of them have rides today. Does this bode well for the likes of Cougar Rover and Noland?
No.
Perhaps the stat's very sad, but it's true. Every jockey...
He wasn't very happy.
We could have a forecast.
Yeah,
Noland to beat Cougar Rover, but as like John, I fancy Cougar Rover to lead it all the way. Ran very well when winning the Kingmaker at Warwick.
That is a fantastic statistic.
That is beyond anoraki.
Where does that come from?
Yes, it was.
That is outstanding. That's the best. Totally.
Funny shooting.
By the way, talking about falls, greatest, isn't it a record that you fell at every fence at Cheltenham in your career? I used to call you Limpet, but when it comes out that you fell at every fence.
I wouldn't know.
Apparently you did.
I can't remember. Who's fallen at the last? Nobody falls at the last.
Well, you apparently did. You jumped off once, apparently.
Really?
So.
Oh, well, lovely. Listen, we'll have another break, and that means another turf trivia. Here it is, and can you work this one out? It is quite simply, who rode most winners in last year's Cheltenham Festival? Answer after this.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darling, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
Are you ready to rediscover the pleasure of standing out? Discover the new Envive by Always, new for sensitive bladder. Protection has never been thinner, thanks to its super-absorbing microchannels. Outstanding protection that lets your confidence stand out. New Envive by Always.
If you're planning a holiday, I'll let you in on a big secret. You could be paying far too much for your travel insurance. Why not call Go Travel Insurance? With Go, you could get prices like these on single trip policies. And with annual travel insurance, you could save a small fortune. Go also offers flexible insurance for skiers and backpackers. So call Go Travel Insurance and see how much you could save.
Call 0844 482 0888 now or visit gotravelinsurance.co.uk.
Get these weird feelings around 11 and 4.
CPs. Cakey pangs. You need oveny bakey cakiness. I suggest you eat this Nutrigrain.
You're not a real doctor, are you?
No, I'm a baker. Oveny bakey cakiness from the Nutrigrain Baker.
Easter signals the end of winter for me. And it wouldn't be Easter without hot cross buns. So try this hot cross pudding. These Taste Difference buns are loaded with juicy, plump raisins and they're blooming fab. Spread it with marmalade. And for a quick cheat, use Taste the Difference custard. Lovely. Cool, look at that. Guys, would you like some of these? Do you like that? Is that nice? Dead simple.
Nice buns, Jamie.
Cheeky!
It's Cheltenham Fever this week in the Sun. Get your free 8-page racing guide every day, packed with all the runners and riders' form and analysis. Cheltenham in the Sun. We love it.
VO5 Extreme Style. Break the mold.
There are all sorts of people in the Army. To find out more, text ARMY to 61110 for your free DVD.
Destruction. Vandalism. Expense. Protect against the rising cost of driving with Direct Line car insurance. Buy a new policy direct from us, and we promise not to increase your price next year. It pays to be with the right insurer. Direct Line.
Love. Enjoy your holiday?
Not really, Joyce. Busting for the week. Haven't been for a fortnight. I can't get this suit off. Buster, come on!
Paul O'Grady is boldly back. Monday at 5 on Channel 4.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darling, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
Welcome back to the Morning Line. We're live at the Cheltenham Festival. Who rode most winners in last year's Cheltenham Festival? It was Robert Chocolate Thornton. Catch It, Voiprostades, My Way to Solson, Andreas. 4 winners, and Choc will be our special guest here on the Morning Line tomorrow. He was born in Darlington. Did you know that? County Durham, but lived down here for many years, and he needs a haircut. Now, our special guest this morning is Tom Scudamore. Tom, talk us through your rides today. We've talked about most of them. Let's just check what you've got today. Now, we've talked about Blue Beige. Just out of 10, what would you give that chances today?
Out of 10. If he ignores his last one, I suppose he's probably got a 7
out of 10. Asana in the champion hurdle.
Hopefully a 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10. 4 o'clock, William Hill Chase and accordion.
And accordion again. He's definitely got a favourites chance.
And 5:20, the last race. Now, you ride Mamluk here. What sort of chance here?
Yeah, Mamluk, he was a decent horse on the flat. He won his first 2 over hurdles, and then maybe slightly disappointing around Ludlow under a double penalty. However, that Ludlow race has worked out to be a really, really good race, and you know he's meeting a few of these horses on much better terms because he had a double penalty that day. But on the other side, of course, Ashkazar and Riverlea look very tough horses to beat.
I mean, obviously he's recovered from winning, but he won so well. Will he take all the beating again?
I'm sure he will. well. He was very, very impressive in the Imperial Cup, and of course we did it last year with Gaspar, and if anything, Ashkazar was even more impressive in the Imperial Cup. So he's definitely the one we've got to beat, I think.
Be an incredible training performance, wouldn't it? If you could do it again, Martin did it. Now David trying to do it full march. I remember, John, you were talking about that. How difficult it is
just to win the Sunderland's Imperial Cup.
Exactly. It is. Yeah. Listen, tomorrow you've got the season's oldest Queen Mother Champion Chase, the big race. You ride Tamarin Bleu. Yep. Now, what's the news?
Yeah, again, I schooled him on Saturday too. He felt in tremendous order. He obviously likes the track. He won over 2.5 round here. He won over 3 miles during the summer. But he also put up, I think, the best performance over 2 miles this season at Ascot, and he beat Twist Magic. And again, I couldn't be happier with him, and the rain that's come as well would suit him. But he's in tip-top order.
He's as tough as old boots, isn't he?
He is, and hopefully he'll be a very hard horse to pass on tomorrow.
OK. Well, talking of tough as old boots, someone who's not here this week, but tell you what, we're going to hear him from Essex. Good morning, Barry. How are you?
Hey, Tomo, good morning, good morning, viewers. Now, listen.
Oh, yes.
I've got a special offer for you all today.
Oh, yes.
Tanya's been telling me about this horse, Nolan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at the moment, I think you've got it on the caption at 9 of all. You can lay less than that at the moment. That's my Bismarck Nolan. What can you lay at the moment, Tanya?
3.2, so less than 9 to 4, and 3.14 on iBetX.com, and then 3.15. Yeah, lots less than 9 to 4, Barry, yeah.
All you Arbors and you lucky Romford Essex boys, get into my shop. I'll lay you 5 to 2 to £200 till 12 o'clock. Go on, you Arbors. Come and take me on. I'll beat you. I've seen this Nolan run. This can't win.
Thanks, Barry. Have a good week and enjoy yourself. And I hope everything goes well in your shop in Romford. Charity bets today. I think you might be going... Now, which of yours are you going for?
Asana.
Asana, because that is your best ride?
Yeah, again, it's very hard to split Asana and Accordion, but it's the champion, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. By the way, do you ever bump into your old headmaster, the one who let you, come racing and all that?
Not if I can help it.
Oh, really? Oh.
No, I'm not sure he was too keen on me going racing, but a few of the housemasters used to help me out.
Oh, it's wonderful. I know I once came out of a betting show once, I went splat straight into the headmaster. But he said, Tom, I don't mind you going there, as long as you tell me what's going to win. Ted, what is going to win?
I think River Liane in the last, for Tom Cooper and Davy Russell. I was very impressed with him at Leopardstown. He's handicapped on his French form. If he had run these same races in Ireland, he'd have definitely have £10 more, maybe £12 more. If Phil Smith had got, or whoever handicaps him, handicapped him on his Irish form, I think he's £12 well in.
Very interesting. So it's the Irish horse in the last race.
Tight old battle between Davy Russell and your lad Ruby. How's it going to finish up?
I'd say Davy Russell is 10 or 12 clear of him. Unless one of the two of them get injured, I'd imagine that Davy will be champion jockey this year. I mean, he's a lovely rider. He's had a great run right through the whole year. So has Ruby. But I'd say Davy's year.
OK, John, what is your best bet on the opening day?
Noland.
Why? I mean, you just heard him say he can't win.
Well, listen, he's said it before. But I just think that, he could be an awful lot better than everything else that's running.
Yeah, sounds good. And Jimbo?
Well, I was originally going for River Liane, same as Ted. I was very impressed with that.
To beat Ashkazar, because Ashkazar comes in...
Ashkazar might well win, but you could have tied a steamroller to River Liane in Ireland and it would have won. And the horse it beat won 15 lengths on Sunday, so he's got a strong chance to. There's no pushover the last race. And interestingly, Martin Pipe's nap until Ashkazar won was River Liane.
Ah, interesting. But what is your charity bet?
I'm going for Binocular in the first.
You can see that winning. Alice is out on the track. Alice, what are you going for after having talked to the guys and listened to what's happening outside?
Well, I've been listening to you in there, and I think Tom's going to have a really big day today. He's napped Asana. I've napped Anaccordion. I know he's tricky, but he jumped really well, and I think Anaccordion will go well for Tom and give him a double this afternoon.
So much to look forward to. Mac, what is happening in the ring?
A very early move in the Victor Chandler shop in London. £4,000 each way double. The first two races, 12 to 1 Pigeon Island and 10 to 1 against Ring the Boss. But in that race, Binocular, 4-year-old, of course, that's been back for Tony McCoy. It's now around an 8 to 1 chance from 10 to 1. And 4-year-olds can win it, like King Pelly and Persian Majesty in the 70s won it. In the 60s, 3 4-year-olds and 1 Evian in 1952. So 4-year-olds can win this. Binocular's been well backed for Tony McCoy. Coming up to Nolan, good support for Nolan is now as short as 7 to 4 in the offices. From top of the head, 9 to 4 Nolan. And Tyne again. Bit of money for that, 10 to 1. It's now an 8 to 1 chance against Tyne again. And they're looking for value scope in the mirror. very, very influential, this value scope in the Mirror. They went for the 22-to-1 chance. Pon Me Oath is now about 106, 16-to-1, and a lot of cash is coming in for Ashkazar, as low now as Bottle, 2-to-1. It was an 11-to-4 chance, and the 11-to-4 is only with Ladbrokes, the magic signer, going 11-to-4 that. Female on the exchanges. What's your best bet, also?
First of all, an email from Doug Peacock. Can Ashkazar repeat the dose in the race today? I think so, and Ladbrokes still being 11-to-4. I'm going to have some of that this morning.
The same as Gaspara last year, £75,000 Sunderland's bonuses, and 6 horses have won the Sunderland's Imperial Cup, and in the same season, come here and won in the festival, going back to Trespasser in 1920.
Sorry, Ashkazar's a big positive on the exchanges. So too Patsy Hall, almost favourite for the William Hill Trophy, Tomo. Nolan 3.2 on Betfair right now, but is a positive along with Cougarova. Khyber Kim is the favourite for the first race.
Interesting.
Now.
Talked to Nicky Henderson last week, and he said out of all the horses that have worked, the horse that worked well in preparation for the Cheltenham Festival was Khyber Kim.
Just to say one quick thing, could we have a record? The biggest price ever at the Cheltenham Festival, 8-to-1. 12 times they've gone 8-to-1. Never beaten 8-to-1 as a starting price for the favourite.
Is that right?
Will it be ever bigger than that?
That's a good
first
line.
race, possibly. The most open race ever at the festival.
Very interesting line. Let's confirm the charity bets. These are the horses, and we've gone for one in each race. Jimbo can see number 22, Binocular, winning the opener at 2 o'clock. John goes for number 7, Noland, in the Arkle at 2:35. Tom is very hopeful of his mount in the Champion Hurdle. Number 12, Osana, it's live at 3:15. Alice goes for number 6, Anaccordion. It could be a good day for you, Tom. In the 4 o'clock, the William Hill. I'm going to go for number 3, Kilbeggan Blade. That's in the cross-country chase at 4:40. And Ted goes for number 20, River Leanne, in the last at 5:20. Let's just pop outside. Let's set the scene, because it is a lovely, almost a balmy morning here this morning. After yesterday, it was 70 miles an hour. Today, it's looking good. First race at 2 o'clock is the Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices. Rippling Ring could get the meeting off to a great start for Paul Nicholls and Ruby Walsh. At 2:35, it's the Irish Independent Arkle Trophy. Nolan favourite for that Nicholls and Walsh team again. At 3:15, the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. Sublimity aiming to make it 8 Irish winners in the last 10 years. And at 4 o'clock, the William Hill Trophy Handicap Chase. Anaccordion aiming to become only the second favourite to win since 1977. Actually, you'd be rather happy if you didn't go off favourite, wouldn't you? With that sort of stat.
With that sort of stat, the stats are there to be broken.
Tell us what you'd like in the weighing room now. Opening day, we've been here before, we've done it, we still get excited. What's it like for you guys?
Obviously, it's very exciting. It's just like Christmas, but there'll be plenty of intrepidation to begin with, and you know, there'll be plenty of nerves flying around. But it's a great place to be.
And what's it like when you get down to the start for that first race?
Quieter than normal.
Quieter than normal. It's going to be a superb. Enjoy yourself today. Guys, thanks for joining us on the Morning Line. We'll be back at 1 o'clock, and I wonder, can Sublimity win the Smurfit Champion Hurdle yet again? Join us this afternoon, and we'll find out.
It's Sublimity who begins to kick on now. 3 or 4 lengths to Bravinka and Hardy Eustace, the vanquished champions, and a new champion. It is Sublimity.
Dubai, the home of the thoroughbred and the world's richest race. Darley, proud to sponsor the Morning Line.
The greatest show on turf, the Cheltenham Festival. 4 days of live coverage starts today at 1 on 4.
Our pets bring such laughter into our lives. The least we can do is make sure that they're properly looked after if anything should happen to us. Too many cats and dogs are left homeless after their owners pass away. That's why the RSPCA have a free service called Home for Life. It means the RSPCA will do all it can to find a new loving home for your pet if you should die. It's free, it's simple, and it gives you peace of mind. So with Home for Life, you can sit back and enjoy all the wonderful moments you spend with your pets. Reward a lifetime of love and laughter with a Home for Life. Whether it's for you or for someone you know, just call 0800 169 0099 for a free information pack. That's 0800 169 0099.
This button here.
I got it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Sure?
I got it. Yeah.
Leave, careful. You're really good.
I'm flying.
Steady. Whoa.
Oh.
Hang on, I'll give you a hand with those.
Yeah, sure.
Toyota Yaris. Treat it with respect.
Crown Breathe Easy virtually odour-free paint has no lingering smell, so you can get back in the room in no time. Don't just paint it, crown it.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
With Direct Line Home Insurance, buy our combined buildings and contents cover and we'll provide you with free ID theft assistance, available direct from us. It pays to be with the right insurer. Direct Line.
Begin a voyage of discovery into our solar system by building it yourself. Precision parts in brass assemble into a fascinating collector's item that demonstrates the movements of the planets with astronomical accuracy. While this companion magazine will increase your understanding of the universe, build a model solar system at newsagents now.
Germs. You can wipe them off surfaces, but what about gaps and cracks? New anti-germ sealant from EvoStick kills MRSA bacteria on contact, helping you protect your family against infection. Anti-germ also kills E. coli and Salmonella and inhibits the growth of black mold. New anti-germ sealant from EvoStick helps give you extra protection against infection.
Selected Toyota Yaris, now available with 0% finance.
Music likes it hot, and this week we get down with Justin versus Kanye West.
Get down, girl,
intimate interviews, top live shows, and their steamiest videos.
We're gonna take it to the future tonight.
4 Music Sunday Showdown this Sunday from 5 on the Hits. Bring the beat back.
In 25 minutes, surfing the skies on a cloud they call morning glory. First on 4, what's the story about bad behaviour in Sex, Lies and Soaps?
I definitely don't think, in general, that there's more bad behaviour in soaps than in real life.
People do more bad things, but they're not quite as, like, intense about it.
If there wasn't no gun crime stuff and bad behaviour in soaps, I think most people won't want to watch them because they'll probably just be boring.
All the fights that happen, all the gang warfare, you know, all the guns and the gangsters and everything that happened,
You've got all the affairs and murder.
They have to keep people wanting to watch more and more, and I guess if one person has a problem and then that's it and they're fine for the rest of the time, then it gets boring and nobody wants to watch it anymore. It works because everyone's so addicted to it.
Soaps are full of bad behaviour. In Emmerdale, it's the boozing teenagers who get up to no good.
Hands off me.
While in EastEnders, the grown-ups are no better behaved.
Giving our customers free UK weekend calls automatically. So now your free time really can be free.
If you're a keen saver and want to maximise your tax-free savings, here's an idea from Abby. Super ISA. Earn 10% tax-free on our Instant Access Cash ISA when you put the same amount in our fixed-term guaranteed growth plan, an investment that keeps your capital safe. Call 0800 80 80 80. Abby. More ideas for your money.
Deal or No Deal at 4:15. No countdown today, nor over the next 4 days, because we have coverage now of the spectacle that is the Cheltenham Festival.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
Cheltenham Eve dawned dark and threatening, and the forecast gales duly arrived. But the damage was controlled, and yesterday's blast soon passed. Nothing new, really. After all, the festival always whips up a storm. Welcome everyone to the meeting which moves, shakes and shapes the jumping world. This is the sporting event whose profile grows greater with each passing year. And in 4 days' time, the 2008 festival will reach its zenith when Kauto, Star and Denman take off the gloves for the most eagerly anticipated Cheltenham Gold Cup in a generation. Only one of those next-door neighbours will stand steaming on the summit of equine Everest. In just an hour, the field for the Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices Hurdle will open the exchange of shot and shell to the sound of the annual ritual roar. Noland, winner of the opener 2 years ago, has successfully graduated to fences and now returns as favourite for our second race, the Irish Independent Arkle Trophy. And then the centrepiece of day one, the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. Last year, Sublimity became the 7th Irish-trained winner in the last 9 runnings and is back to defend his crown. But it is his compatriot, Sizing Europe, who heads the market, having burst onto the champion hurdle scene when battling home through the mud and muck here in November.
The Irish Raider, Sizing Europe, looks a very useful horse. He begins to draw clear up the hill and he's going to win in grand style, and Sizing Europe scores.
And rounding off Channel 4's coverage of this first day, top flight 3-mile chasers go for their share of glory in the William Hill Trophy. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome at last to the Cheltenham Festival 2008. The storm has indeed blown through, but there's plenty more wild and windy weather due. Believe it or not, it was sunny 20 minutes ago, but the rains have arrived. And with the state of the going crucial, let's get the latest news from Alice Plunkett and John Frankham.
Well, the rain has come, as you said, but the ground, I have to say, is in very, very good nick. This course looks fantastic.
It does. They've done a great job. A lot of people complained because they put a little bit of water on last week, but they thought that it was going to be fast if they didn't. The rain's come now. To be perfect, there's no excuses. I don't care what horse you bring to this festival today. Certainly, you know, if they don't go on this ground, they won't go on anything. It's really even. Might be a little bit on the slow side of good. Quite a strong headwind. Wouldn't be surprised to see some horses finish in tired. But from a jockey's point of view, you'd actually rather be riding when it's raining like this than in bright sunshine. They just tend to slow just that little bit. Makes life a little bit easier for them and the horses, of course.
Set fair, perfect conditions on the track, that's for sure. It may not be quite so good in the sky.
Finding winners hard enough, forecasting the weather even more difficult. This is how the going has changed from Sunday. The light green parts are the good to soft, and it's just begun to ease. Yesterday at 8 in the morning, more light green, more good to soft. And today, earlier in the day at 9:15, the first yellow patches, the soft ground, appearing. And since then, it has spread more to the old course, on which, of course, we race today. Non-runners for the opening day of the Cheltenham Festival. In the big one itself, the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle number 9 Calderon and 14 Salford City. And in the 4 o'clock, King Harold not with us, Vet Certificate Lane.
Here in December, Osana won the Boyle Sports Hurdle, and after that he was really back for the Champion Hurdle, ridden by Tom Scudamore, of course, our guest on the morning line, and 3 horses have won the Boyle Sports and come on to win the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. The most recent joke was Rooster Booster. Best back this morning, Osana, 11-2 with Hills and with Boyle Sports. Is now a tight 9-2 chance. Osana for Tom Scudamore, female on the exchanges.
Big negative for Sublimity. Last year's winner is out to 7-1 on Betfair and the other exchanges, Betdac and Co. Right now, that's the one you're all taking on Sublimity. You certainly fancy Sizing Europe and definitely fancy Osana.
This is the best view in racing. And if you sponsor the big race on any of the 4 days here at the Cheltenham Festival, this is where you and your guests can enjoy the best view in the house. You've got that side and this side, of course. You've got the parade ring, albeit a little bit damp at the moment. And in the background, this incredible tented village, or tented city, as I call it. Now, you remember yesterday, we had those 70-mile-an-hour winds. We'd be hanging on here yesterday. You can see the problem. If you're in the Guinness Grandstand today, you're going to get a little bit wet. There's no roof on there. And just behind that, a few of the hospitality boxes were blown away. So it means a number of the corporate guests have had to be rehoused. Yesterday, a number of trainers, jockeys, owners, racegoers and horses couldn't get over from Ireland. But the news is that most of them have arrived safely. And that has got to be good news. Now, just confirming, the only change from your morning paper this morning are the 3 non-runners. And they are just confirming Calderon and Salford City out the champion, and King Harold out of the William Hill. And a slight worry, guys, come over here. They say when you can't see Cleve Hill, you're worried. I can just see it, guys. And 10 minutes ago, it was a gorgeous, sunny, bright day. Now look, that ground is going to be getting softer by the second.
Every jockey riding at Cheltenham this week will be happy if they can record a winner. Over the years, some have been much luckier than others, and the leading current jockey at the Cheltenham Festival with 19 wins to his credit is the champion AP McCoy. He is, well, of current riding jockeys, 5 clear of his nearest rivals. That's Mick Fitzgerald and Ruby Walsh. Of course, Pat Taff, the chap who currently has the record with 25 wins. But at least this year, AP has the chance to maintain his pole position, because against all the odds he's riding at this year's festival, he was here bright and early. No one probably happier than him to be walking that hallowed turf, and a lesson to us all in what determination and sheer bloody mindedness can do.
4 weeks ago, AP was looking down the barrel of a missed festival, but he's an almost freakishly tough individual and was prepared to go through anything to be here. If you thought hell was hot, you were wrong. The reality is chillingly different. There was a real fight as to who would go on this assignment. Nick Luck lost.
With jump racing comes extreme danger, falls, shattered bones, and the prospect of weeks and months on the sidelines as jockeys strive to mend their broken bodies.
And champion jockey Tony McCoy, in his race to be ready for the Cheltenham Festival, is taking it to extreme temperatures.
It's 4 weeks since AP's back operation after his horrific fall at Warwick, and he's based himself here at Champneys in Hertfordshire to take full advantage of revolutionary cryotherapy treatment, plunging his body to minus 140 degrees centigrade twice a day in order to speed his recovery.
And in the name of science, I put myself through the treatment.
Ready?
Okay, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Step up.
That, for me, it's an unusual sensation.
This is okay. I promise you, this is like a sauna.
But I've never been in here before. Yeah. But when you first come in,
if you get down now, you can feel the cold.
Jesus Christ.
Wait till you feel the cold in here. Right, you ready?
Ready? For 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
For you, 10 seconds. All right. Keep move, keep move.
Oh, jeez.
Have you had enough yet?
Oh.
How long could you stick it?
How long could you stick it?
Oh, come on.
Jeez. Oh.
Ready for move?
Yeah.
All right.
Damn right I'm ready for move. Oh, God, Jesus. That is incredibly cold. Now that is all right in there.
Fine.
That's okay in there. But what he's doing in there, he just loves it. He's just an adrenaline junkie. He just gets off on it. Incredibly cold. Oh.
I think when you go past a certain point, it's so cold that you're nearly broken. And then you actually can keep going. You can see the frost coming on your gloves, and you know, you feel your skin getting really hard and like it's nearly freezing. It's great.
Renata, this is even making AP smart a bit. You can hear him in there,
yes.
Just trying to push through
yes.
it. But it's not pain as such.
No,
it's
no,
a really
no.
unusual
It's like,
sensation.
Because it's dry cold, so that is different. Like weather, it's fog or misty or not comfortable. So that is because it's dry cold. It's nothing water inside.
But it makes you feel. I know I was only in there for like 10 seconds, but it makes you feel invigorated at the same time. It makes you feel good.
Yes, it's like natural coffee or something.
But of all the people you've seen, is he the most determined? Yeah.
Yes. Right.
So he's going back in the pre-chamber now, yeah?
Yes.
So he's been in minus 140.
Yes.
And he's back into minus 60. Oh, look at the colour of him.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Oh, cold. Oh, that was hard.
That's hard. Right, stay. Stay.
That's chilly.
All right, keep move.
Does it make you feel good?
Yeah. Great.
Oh.
I'll definitely get to 150 before I go around. What's the record?
142.
So you're setting yourself all these challenges each day?
Yeah.
To just try and push yourself a little bit harder?
Yeah, I've got colder every day, yeah. That's the coldest now I've been today.
So now, frozen to the core, the Iceman goes on to do an hour of grueling exercise.
Renata, you designed this specifically for his back?
Yes. I show you next position, special for him because it's scar and cut muscle on the back. So his balance on Monday is horrible. Yesterday is much better. If you're looking him back, on Monday, after cryo, it's very red around the scar, or like, no red, like bronze or black color, and today it's little.
Yeah.
So it's better, because lots of toxins staying around and feel much more relaxing, the muscle special. So that is benefit. Good.
How quickly is the improvement coming?
It's definitely getting a lot easier.
Yeah, it's like Monday.
Yeah. So that means I'm getting fitter.
Is that pretty tough now?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, yeah. Have a go then. It's actually much harder than it looks.
If you're struggling with it, then I think maybe I'll leave it.
Now, keep your bum on your foot and then lift your leg up from behind you.
Well, it's
without using your hands, like.
But that's just impossible.
That's
It's just impossible. That's one of the mock miracles. No, is this impossible?
I defy anybody to do this. McCurrick's coming down here tomorrow.
You're actually enjoying this?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
No, the same. The same.
Renata's driving you pretty hard.
Yeah, good.
But that's what you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need it to hurt, you know what I mean? I don't mean that as in my back to hurt, but you need it, your body to physically hurt, you know?
Yeah.
The main thing is to make my body hard so that it can take good slaps when it gets me. Because that's obviously what's going to happen. I get a treat.
Is the white flag coming up now?
Yeah. White flag never comes up.
Well, finally I can put the shirt back on. We've had a lot of fun here this morning for sure, but you've just seen in Tony McCoy, a man of incredible dedication and inspiration to everyone, the way he can get himself back to peak fitness, putting himself after 4 weeks after a back injury that serious in a back operation, to put himself through this every day is just nothing short of extraordinary. And you just see the look on his face, and all you can do is salute him and hope that Cheltenham goes as well for him as he wants it to.
Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. By the way, I said to Nick Luck he should have kept his vest on. Listen, while that was going out, news is coming in of another non-runner. In the first race, number 21, Zebra Crossing, does not run in our first race. Now, every day this week, we on the Channel 4 team will be nominating 3 people, whether it's an owner, a trainer, a jockey, who we believe has contributed most to that particular day's racing. They might have won, they might have had a fall, it might have been like whatever. And every day there will be a winner that will go forward to the morning line on Saturday, where the top 4 people from every day we would like you to nominate, and who you think should win the Guinness Award 2008. I can tell you who's won the Guinness Award 2007 because it was made earlier today in the winner's enclosure, and it is Paul Nicholls. Paul Jemison of Guinness presented him with the trophy, and I think Paul could have another good week.
After the break, the first of a 4-parter that brings you the combined Cheltenham wisdom of Sir Peter O'Sullivan, John Joe O'Neill and John Frankham.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
How could you lay your hands on several £1,000s cash?
I don't know. Raid my savings.
And your wife and kids, too. It would have to be a lottery win.
I've got an absolute certainty. 3:30 at Kempton.
Transfer your mortgage to the Chelsea Building Society now, and they'll give you a cash lump sum worth 6% of the value of your mortgage.
I don't want to move. It's taken us 5 years to sort out the kitchen.
You don't have to move home. Chelsea will even pay the legal fees. Just phone 0800 341 341 for your free personalised information pack.
Sounds interesting, but I'm busy. I just don't want the hassle.
Chelsea have made it easy. Everything can be done by phone and post.
It costs nothing to find out. What was the number again?
Call Chelsea free on 0800 341 341 and see how much you could save. 0800 341 341.
L200. Watt Van Pickup of the Year 2007. Shogun. For when you need four-wheel drive control. 2-litre diesel Outlander. Lowest CO2 emissions of any 7-seat 4x4. Have you driven a Mitsubishi lately?
Wrap up this winter with the KFC Melted BLT Toasted Twister, all wrapped up with mouth-watering melted cheese to keep your taste buds toasty.
It's Cheltenham Fever this week in the sun. Get your free 8-page racing guide every day, packed with all the runners and riders' form and analysis. Cheltenham in the sun. We love it.
When heartburn strikes, Renidual Action works fast to soothe and neutralise. Renidual Action, powerful relief in just 2 minutes.
Looking for a new way to save money on your car insurance?
Visit GoCompare.com.
Just tell them everything your policy has to have. They'll compare the best prices from loads of insurance companies and show you which quotes come with everything you've asked for, using their special 5-star rating.
So visit GoCompare.com.
Why go compare anywhere else?
Sean is back with 8 new adventures and one unbelievable party. Shaun the Sheep, Saturday Night Sean, out now on DVD.
At Orange, we know that everyone is different. That's why we give our customers the freedom to choose between 4-pay monthly phone packages. Canary, raccoon, panther, and dolphin. From unlimited calls to unlimited texts, we have a plan to suit you.
Sometimes it pays to be careful. Does your car insurance include all the cover you need? With the cooperative insurance, you could save up to £172 and get great benefits as standard, like up to 70% no-claim discount and responsive UK call centres. So don't wait until you have an accident to find out if there's something missing from your car insurance. Call now on 0800 115 115. That's 0800 115 115 and see how much you could save.
Get straight to the point with teletext on Channel 4. For the latest information fast, just press text.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
There's nowhere in England quite as English as Cheltenham, but for these few days, there's nowhere in the world quite as Irish as Cheltenham.
During the 4-day racing festival, the population will grow from 109,000 people to a staggering 235,000. This is the hub of the travel network. Arrive by rail, then onto the course by bus, which can be a bit slow, or take it on foot, just to build a healthy appetite and thirst. The jet set, of course, can drop straight in. 650 helicopters are expected to land here this week.
Every room in every Cotswold village around will be taken. In town, you may have to pay top dollar.
There will be 10,000 beds occupied this week, from single-starred accommodation to a whole galaxy of luxury. This is the Out of Africa themed room, and at £390 a night, it'll suit me just fine. You'd need to back a winner or two to dine here.
We should be doing about 550 covers, which is about twice as many as we would do in a normal week.
Here at least you can sit back and take your time, but there is faster food to be had.
This one, Dawn. What do you think?
Okay, I think it's great, but I think you might be needing a coat. So we'll try on this lovely Betty Jackson coat.
Oh, that is nice, isn't it?
That's super.
It seems from the bottom to the top, everyone wants to make an effort for the festival.
Well, there's only two things left to do here today. The crack and some tips, and I'm in the real place for it. I'm here in the pub, and joining me here is John Brennan. Now, John, you have some horses running this week. Have you got any tips for me, though?
Cousin Vinny in the bumper on Wednesday evening.
James, your tip for the week?
Cerrito in the bumper.
And Sean, your big tip for the week is?
Val definitely in the World Hurdle. Great horse, big, strong devil, gallop all day. He's the one for me.
Anyway, look, we're going to continue on here. By all accounts, the night is only getting us started. And I don't think it's my round. I think it's John Brennan's round.
I know where to eat, I know where to go for a drink, and I know the best places to find tips. Now I'm ready to go racing.
Well, the recent downpour of rain has made its mark. The going is now good to soft all round. Good to soft all round for the opening day's action at Cheltenham. To be fair, the rain is now gone and the weather's relented, but it's going to come and go throughout the next 4 days, I would think. But these are the non-runners, 3 of them because of the going. That's Zebra Crossing, not with us in the opener. Calderon and Salford City, absent from the Champion Hurdle. King Harold in the 4 o'clock. Well, the betting action, of course, at this meeting is faster and more furious than anywhere else. And down on the front line through all 4 days, Mac and Tanya.
Well, in the last 9 festivals, Ireland on the opening day have won either 2 or 3 races on the opening day. And the last time they failed to win a race at all was in 1994. They got 7 runners in the opening race, so Ireland really strong, but not in the opening race Market Movers. That belongs to the 4-year-old Binocular, Tony McCoy's horse, 8-1 from 10-1. That's the price now here on the course, Binocular. In the Arkle, Nolan is put in 15-8 from 9-4. Nolan, good support for that, as we gave you Asana 9-2 from 11-2 in the Champion Hurdle. While in the William Hill Trophy, this Pon Me Oath is a value scope in the mirror, 14-1 from 22-1. Patsy Hall also supported 6-1 from 8. And in the last is Ash Gazar, who won the Sunderland's Imperial Cup at Sandown on Saturday after the £75,000 bonus, as low as 2-1 from 11-4. Betfred laid it to lose £250,000 apparently at 11-4 against that Ash Gazar, and 6 horses have won the Sunderland's Imperial Cup and come on in the same season to win at the Cheltenham Festival. Female, my market movers there. What's yours on the exchanges?
Well, Ash Gazar is a massive mover, as you've intimated already, Mac. That is into under 5-2 Ash Gazar to try and land that Sunderland's bonus. Market movers starting with the 2 o'clock Binocular. Mac may get his wish as 9-1 the field because Binocular's just clinging on to favouritism. He is my positive, and it's just 8.5-1. Bar that, it's 10s. Captain CB is a huge negative, out to around 11-1, 13-1 this morning, but around 12-1 in the 235, centering around Nolan. Back out to 9-4 just on the exchanges at the moment. No concentration on that race yet. Cougarova is another positive. In the 315, the Champion Hurdle, Asana, the big mover there. Opposition to Sublimity, that drifts out towards the 8-1 mark, currently 7.5. And in the 4 o'clock, my big negatives there, An Accordion and Offer El Dairy. An Accordion opposing, even Patsy Hall could be favourite for that race, Mac.
And you say my wish is because they 12 times at Cheltenham Festivals, they've gone 8-1 the field, the biggest prices ever. They've never returned 8.5 or 9-1 favourites. It doesn't look as though they'll do it now. Binocular is the 8-1 favourite at the moment. But looking at the Irish favourites for the Champion Hurdler, when they send off the favourites, they've got a pretty good record in it. As you can see, that Brave Inca at 7-4, that one in 06, Hardy Eustace, a joint favourite at 7-2 in 05. Rhinestone Cowboy was beaten by Rooster Booster. You get all those Isterbrat wins, of course, going back to Dawn Run in 84, and Monksville was runner-up in 1980. So a good record for the Irish-trained favourites. 19 of them have been favourite, 10 have won, and in all Ireland have won it 17 times, the Champion Hurdle, and they've been first and second for the last 3 years, at least first and second.
Well, there's no substitute for festival form, and those with long experience of this place have learned a thing or two over the years. And just a few days ago, Alistair Down invited John Joe O'Neill, Sir Peter O'Sullivan and John Frankham for a spot of pre-Cheltenham lunch. And over the next 4 days, we're going to be bringing you their insight and wisdom. Now, amazingly, this is Alistair's 33rd festival, but he's a mere novice compared to that elder statesman that is Sir Peter O'Sullivan. He's been coming here just a wee bit longer.
We're here in Stow on the Wold, my local town, about 25 flat-out minutes from Cheltenham Racecourse. Have a spot of lunch at the Old Butcher's with 3 men who've seen it or done it all at the Cheltenham Festival. When did you first go to the meeting?
Well, I went, the first time I drove myself there was 1935 when Golden Miller won his 4th Gold Cup, and he beat Thomond, ridden by Billy Speck, by 3 parts per length. And I remember that very, very clearly, because I suppose, having driven there was a general excitement and anticipation. But I did go before. I'll be actually seeing, if I get that far, I'll be seeing my 66th Gold Cup this year, which will be rather exciting.
But you must have had loads of bets, but I bet there's none that sticks in your mind like back in the first 5 home of Michael Dickinson's.
No, I don't think so.
That was sticking your neck out.
That was, yes, probably my last winner I backed on, but I mean, that was very exciting because from a commentary point of view, it was lovely to call the first 2 or 3 past the post, but where I was really looking, I mean, was the last. That was the, because there were 2 serious horses still going then, you know, that the 5th horse had to beat. That was the worrying part of the commentary.
But going back to the very early days, I mean, how many people were at the thing when you... I mean, was it like a sort of... wouldn't be like a point-to-point, because it was a huge meeting still, but nothing like the numbers involved these days?
Nothing like, and nothing, of course... Nobody was as close to the action. Television had brought it, you see, so close to everybody. I mean, they even ran the National Hunt Chase round the back of the car park, you know, and they were out of sight. During television, of course, during the
Gold
television...
Cup started out of sight.
Gold Cup started on a shoot. You know, you just waited until they appeared, jumped the first fence, yeah. I mean, it was all very much more, had much more of a point-to-point atmosphere.
It was sort of Tweedy establishment-type meeting, wasn't it? It was, you know, where now it enfranchises absolutely everybody from all over the country.
Oh, and the partisanship, of course, has made the whole atmosphere, hasn't it? It's England versus Ireland, whatever anybody likes to say. I mean, you know, there's quite a nice bit of needle there, isn't there? And there's enormous satisfaction in... I mean, Ireland, the Irish always used to have to sell all their horses, didn't they? Sell all their good horses, and they'd come over here. I mean, I heard myself calling Arkle for Ireland and Millhouse for England. Millhouse, I mean, he came from Naas, didn't he? The Lawless bred Millhouse near Naas. I mean, these were nearly all Irish horses.
Well, for 20 or 30 years, they had to sell to the English. Yes. And the great thing was to screw as much money out of the English as possible. Sure. That was the game. But they had to go because the economy was up the pitches. And that's the great change in recent years, isn't it? That now the Irish pitch on an equal footing financially.
Do you know the one thing I miss about the old course was when the runners used to come up past the stand for the first time?
Yes.
And turn away. I'm not sure that was a good move, you know, when they did away with that.
I can understand that.
What's the secret?
Yeah, but just that little bit further, yeah. Yeah.
He definitely helped him.
Yeah. Definitely. I was just trying to think, what the name of the horse that you won the Triumph Hurdle on. It was a gloomy day, throwing it down with rain, and these pink colours just going through. It was like a Razzi when in the Breeders' Cup. And it was...
Peterhoff.
Peterhoff. Absolutely came from... Must have been stone last at the top of the hill. Didn't know whether it was off or not, and then suddenly away it went.
They tend to be that day, though, off.
Yeah, yeah.
But, Peter, going back to... You talked about Millhouse for England, Arkle for Ireland. That first meeting of them in the Gold Cup set up what the rivalry was like in terms of who thought they were unbeatable, etc., etc., and what it was like going into the meeting. I mean, this year we've got Gorto Start and Denman. It's a very different setup. There isn't that sort of Irish-English stuff. They're both in the same, you know, they live next to each other, for goodness sake. But it was apparently just extraordinary, the build-up and the intensity of, well, ours won't be beat. No, ours won't be beat. What was it like?
Well, the respective writers, I know, because they dined with me the night before in Cheltenham, Willie Robinson and Pat Tapp, I mean, quite seriously, I mean, on and off the record, don't take the notice of what he says, you know, There's absolutely no doubt, no question of this horse getting beat. I mean, Willie'd won the Gold Cup pretty easily on Millhouse the year before. He'd beaten Arkle, don't forget, in the Hennessy when that was run in the fog, and we didn't realise to what an extent, Arkle had been hampered, and had lost ground. It was a very crucial thing, and of course our Millhouse winning that, it confirmed that this pretender just seriously wasn't on. And Pat was absolutely insistent. He said, "He's got no chance. I'm telling you that. He's got no chance at all." And well, he proved himself something absolutely exceptional, as we know. But the interesting thing is, while he, as a 7-year-old, was winning his first Gold Cup, his 5-year-old box neighbour, rather like the Cordo Star and Denman situation, Flying Bolt, was winning his division of the Gloucester Hurdle. While Arkle was winning his second Gold Cup, Flying Bolt was winning the Cotswold Chase. And I may say at 9-4 on in the Gloucester Hurdle as well. Then when Arkle was winning his third Gold Cup, Flying Bolt was winning the 2-mile champion chase, 9-4 on. And a couple of days later, he was third in the champion hurdle, beaten 3 1/4 lengths, very much in contention.
That is a parallel in the sense we've got the two best around now at Paul Nichols's, but at Tom Draper's were the two best and phenomenal best, like to win a champion chase and finish third in the champion hurdle. I mean, they wouldn't let it happen nowadays, would they?
Well, it's the same as Paul. He's got the two best Gold Cup horses. He's got the two best in the champion chase, and he's got a whole lot of others beside. And it's, it goes in cycles, but he's had an amazing run. He's got a lot of really good horses, and they just seem to keep producing it.
And we were sitting around, the four of us earlier, having a look at some of the old films, and they're never dull in the sense you always think, God, I remember that, or God, I didn't realise that happened. And all the characters, we were watching almost like Bird's Nest, who ran about 1,000 champion hurdles. Bob Turnell went to his grave not understanding why it never won one. But those extraordinary years of the sort of Night Nurse, Sea Pigeon, Monksfield generation, I mean, it's not just old fools looking back with rosy-tinted specs. They just were phenomenal races.
Oh, yes. They were good horses. I mean, Persian War and Beulah, one mustn't leave them out. I mean, they were 3 in a row.
Comedy of errors.
Comedy.
We're talking about that Night Nurse, and because he was not too hot on the flat, was he? Do you remember when Peter, the lady that owned him, decided she didn't want to keep him anymore, and Peter bought him for next to nothing. And after he'd won his first champion hurdle, he met the lady in the bar and said, "Oh, can I buy you a drink?" She said, "I'd rather drink poison than have a drink with you." But he was just one of those horses that just took to, from the first time they schooled him, loved jumping.
And you both had Sea Pigeon associations. Tell us about him.
He was a fantastic horse, really. A lot of speed, a lot of pace. Just didn't want to get there too quick, really, But he was a super horse to ride, really. He's electric, wasn't he?
Yeah, good girl that looked after him too.
Monica.
Well, he was a proper good flat horse.
Did they?
Yeah. 10 stone. And sadly, the footage is lost. One of the few bits of footage.
Did he win a Chester Cup as well?
He did, but Mark rode him. Mark Butts rode him.
Yeah.
But what are those races right? Because you hear jockeys say, well, that rode a good race. I mean, did they ride exceptional, those races?
I don't think there's any bad champion hurdles, is there?
No, they always go. There's nearly always something that wants to go along, make it a good gallop. This year we've got Osana. He's a genuine, champion hurdle candidate, but there's always been something. The year I won at Pollardstown wanted to go on. There's always something but every year you look back, good champion hurdlers have got to be good jumpers. Sea Pigeon was good, Night Nurse, really quick from one side to the other. And I think that's probably what David Pipe's runner's got. If he gets a soft lead, he might be a hard horse to catch around there. Could be another maker stand.
Oh, wonderful to sit down with Johnny Frankham, John Joe, and Sir Peter O'Sullivan, 90 last week, and still got the recall of Marvo, the memory man. Fantastic racing memory. I had 3 more courses of that meal to come over the next 3 days. And today here, well, it's blowing now and the rain has cleared. Cleve Hill has reappeared as the backdrop. It was swathed in mist. And look, people have taken their places in the stand. That was a little emptier earlier while they were sheltering from the rain. Over in the Centaur, well, there are plenty of folk who dig in there for the whole day, or indeed the 4 days, packed in the Centaur. We can get 6,000 folk in there, betting, eating, drinking, and no rain.
I've come to the pre-parade ring, just checking out the 22 runners in the first. You see J.P. McManus in the background with his group there. He's got 2 horses in this, Captain CB and also Binocular. And I tell you, I've come round with, I've got Jim McGrath and also Ted Walsh over here. Just joined Terry Biddle come here. Your horse looks well, I tell you. It's good to be back.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I still get a buzz out of it, you know. And, pity the rain's coming. He'd like a bit better ground because he's a big, weak horse. He's done nothing wrong. He got beat last time. That was heavy ground at Devon Exeter.
How many years since you won the Cheltenham Gold Cup?
You tell me.
No, listen.
No, 50 years ago since I rode my first winner.
Well done.
How about that?
Terry Biddle.
That was bad.
And I tell you what, he was unbeatable. This Jim McGrath, you've had a look at them here with Ted here. You've been down here early. This is a fascinating place to come from. You can pick up so much inside info.
Well, I don't know about inside info, but it's terrific to look at the younger horses that might be champion hurdle horses next year, and they're all shapes and sizes you'd expect, Ted.
All shapes and sizes, big horses, small horses, strong horses, weak-looking horses, horses that you think you might never see again, as you saying, horses that we might see back here winning champion hurdle.
Anything you've seen in the first race here before they get saddled up that you say, well, I don't like the look of that?
You know, I wouldn't condemn any man's horse because
Yeah.
if it's a hard enough job to get, you should always mind your own business. Other people mind around. I wouldn't condemn anybody's horses. A few horses stand out for me. I like Captain CB. I think he looks well walking around. He's taken it well. This place down here will tell you about whether it's getting to a horse or not. Horses getting on their toes and getting edgy and that. You know, that's where you learn more than anything else.
Yeah, and Jim, what about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's a really open renewal. There's lots of promising horses. The horse that sets the best form standard has run 23 times. So in a way, it would be a little bit of a surprise and maybe a disappointment if there weren't 1 or 2 in the field to beat, you know, Pigeon Island, who's a good horse, but you'd hope one of the lightly raced ones would come and do it.
Give me the nap on the opening day. Ted, your nap, your best bet.
I think the horse in the last race belonged to Tom Cooper, River Leanne, is so well handicapped. Unless Martin Pipe has plenty up his sleeve, I think he'll beat him.
And your nap today, Jim, out of all 6 races?
Sizing Europe.
Sizing Europe to win the champion hurdle. Now, we're going to have a charity bets today, and it's going to be William Hiller putting £100 on the charity bets for Jim McGrath and John Frankham. This is how they're playing today. First of all, in the first race, Jim has gone for Binocular each way. John Frankham's gone for Pigeon Island. In the second race, Noland is Jim's win bet. Kruger Rover each way for John Frankham. Then, after that, in the champion hurdle, as you've just heard, Jim very strong on Sizing Europe. Strawberry each way for Franks. And they've both gone on for an accordion. They both agree, which is quite unusual for those two, in the William Hill Chase. Any winnings, and we hope there are going to be lots of winnings, will be split between Racing Welfare and the Injured Jockeys Fund. And we're going to do that every day and try and make as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm down in the weighing room now with the champion jockey, Tony. We call Tony, you've been back 3 days now. How's the back holding up?
Yeah, it's pretty good, John. Started riding on Saturday. Obviously, I'm pretty happy with it. So if we could just get a few winners, then that would make it a little bit easier even.
And Carl Llewellyn was saying the other day, it's extraordinary how you retain your fitness. He said, you know, when you've been away, he does everything to try and keep fit. You just amble around. He said, but you've just got that metabolism, he said, and you just never seem to get tired. Is that something you've always had?
Yeah, I think I've been lucky in that I've always been sort of a naturally sort of fit person. If you know, I never seem to lose that much fitness, however long I've been off. But I worked hard this time to get back, basically to build the muscle up in my back and build the muscle up all around my body to make sure it was well protected for when I do get a fall. So so let's hope it's okay, you know.
And you just looked a little bit sore just getting a leg in the saddle on Saturday, but absolutely fine when you're on board.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You know, it's in the morning you'd be a little bit stiff when you wake up, so you kind of have to do a little bit of exercise and warm yourself up, and the more you do that, then the looser your body gets. And but you know, it feels good, all things considering. You know, as I said, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't happy with the condition of it. So it's not the sort of place you want to come in to wondering whether it's okay or not okay. You know, I'm pretty sure that it's okay. You know.
And you got 5 rides this afternoon. What's the pick of them? Plenty of them with each way chances, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, John. They're pretty much each way chances. Obviously, Binocular in the first. I had the choice of him and Captain CB and couldn't decide, to be honest. the ground probably swayed me a little bit more in the favour of Binocular, but I've been told that Captain CB is a very good horse, so it's good to have the choice, but hopefully I've chosen the right one for today anyway. And obviously Strawberry in the Champion Hurdle, maybe a little each way chance. Kugrai over in the Arkle, she'll run okay. Whether she's good enough or not, I don't know. Lamy been a little bit out of form, but it's a very open William Hill. And Prince Eric in the last, there's a few horses in there that obviously Ashkazar and River Liane was very, very impressive in Leopardstown. So it'll be tough today, but it'd be fantastic now if we could get a winner, you know.
So plenty of chances, and the little drop of rain will have helped really. I think most of the jockeys would be pleased with that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think it'll probably it'll take a little bit of the speed out of it, but at the end of the day, it's Cheltenham, and I don't think even the ground can slow the horses down around here. It's a quick place, and that's just the way it is, you know.
Well, we all wish you luck. Good luck.
Well, Captain CB, the one that AP has rejected. AP going on about his natural fitness. I know just how he feels. Captain CB out to 12-1. Was that price a few weeks ago? As short as 8-1 favourite at one time. How are they betting, Mac?
Well, AP McCoy rides Binocular, the 8-1 favourite. He won it on All Alois 9 years ago. But this Anglo-Irish bank used to be, of course, the Gloucester Hurdle. First run in 1911, often in 2 or 3 divisions, of course. And 37 favourites and 114 runnings have won it. The longest price they've ever gone a favourite was 13-2 the field. That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and also in 1969. And they're going 8-1 the field now. That's Binocular with 8.5 bar the one. That's Khyber Kim and Muirhead at 8.5. Out to 9-1 is Rippling Ring, but they clipped in the Pigeon Island. It was 12-1 this morning. 10-9 the Pigeon Island. Cork All Star also a 9-1 chance with 12 Captain CB female.
Joint favourites on Betfair right now, Muirhead and Binocular. Big negative on Betdac, Rippling Ring, and as for WBX, they're offering you 0% commission if the SP favourite wins. Big move as well, Pigeon Island, Mac, easy winner at Kempton. Paddy Brennan says his best chance of a winner at the festival. Is he right? You think so? He's coming to 9-1. 6 horses within a point on the exchanges of bustling for favouritism.
And 8-1 joint favourites now. This Muirhead and also, can you see it, Binocular?
4 live races on the opening day of the Cheltenham Festival 2008, starting with the Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices Hurdle. Khyber Kim, a 17-2 chance in a really competitive market. At 2.35, the Irish Independent Arkle Trophy. They've come for Noland. Some were against him, punters aren't. At 3.15, the Smurfit Kappa Champion Hurdle. Henry de Bromhead's Sizing Europe. I wonder how de Bromhead is feeling now. And at 4 o'clock, the William Hill Trophy Handicap Chase. And Accordion gone for by John and Jim, but they're opposing him in the market. That's all you set up for the opening day. Time for a quick break.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
Destruction. Vandalism. Expense. Protect against the rising cost of driving with Direct Line car insurance. Buy a new policy direct from us, and we promise not to increase your price next year. It pays to be with the right insurer. Direct Line.
I'm pretty hard to please when I go shopping, especially when I'm shopping for food. I like fresh bread, made from scratch, by bakers on the premises.
I like a fish counter, where the fish has never been frozen.
I like fresh meat, freshly cut, on the day. Oh, and I like freshly whipped cream in cakes, finished by hand, on the spot. So when I come home, I come here.
Every day, in over 250 stores, Morrison's make and prepare more food than any other supermarket.
Change your home phone company. Why?
You want freedom of choice, not a long-term contract. You want a great range of call features. You want to call day or night for as long as you like. So demand more from your home phone. Choose Vonage on 0800 008 6900. There are no tie-ins, just unlimited calls to the UK and countries like the USA, Australia and Spain for just $7.99 a month. Choose Vonage on 0800 008 6900.
Buy Contents cover by or save 30% by visiting Nationwide online. Home insurance from Nationwide.
Here's an incredible offer from JML at Woolworths. Buy the rubber Wonder Broom for only $5.99 and get a hand brush worth $3.99 absolutely free. Wet or dry, the Wonder Broom is so effective. Just flip the head over and use the built-in squeegee. Its rubber bristles generate static electricity that attracts dirt like a magnet. And the telescopic handle adjusts for any job. Patio windows, easy. Dirty car wheels, no problem. The JML rubber Wonder Broom, only $5.99 and now with a hand brush worth $3.99 absolutely free. Exclusively at Woolworths.
Fresh this week at Morrison's. British lamb chops. Save 1/3.
Let it shine.
The new Ceed from Kia, designed to change your mind.
Dirty Sexy Money, the new hit US show, starts Good Friday at 9 on 4.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
Welcome back to Cheltenham, everybody. It's the Anglo-Irish Bank Supreme Novices Hurdle. Last year, a surprise result. It fell to Azerbaijan, a 40-to-1 shot. Found it hard going since. The details of this afternoon's renewal, 120,000 up for grabs in this Grade 1 contest. Remember, Zebra Crossing is not with us, 22R.
This year, British and Irish runners alike will notice a difference as they enter the paddock at Cheltenham because the racecourse has resurfaced the paddock walkways and installed safer paddock rails. Everywhere that a horse walks now on its way to the course is a rubberised surface, and what were previously fairly static rails are now all made of plastic. So, improving on what most of us thought was unimprovable.
Well, one of the most popular owners in National Hunt joins me now, Andy Stewart. And Andy, you've got a really live chance in this first race with Rippling Ring, but Cheltenham's, with the number of runners you've had, it's been an unlucky place so far.
Unlucky place, but one of my favourite places in the world. So unlucky, but we forget about that.
Let's concentrate on Rippling Ring, because South African form internationally has really come to the fore, and this horse was third in the South African Derby.
Yeah, he was, but that's a long way away and a lot warmer than it is at 2 miles at lovely Prestbury Park.
Paul's been very impressed with him, though, in what he's seen so far.
I think we have been very impressed at home. Just a shame we couldn't get one more run into him after the Doncaster win.
What about this Doncaster win? Because he looked very good this day.
He was very good. The race probably wasn't well suited to him. It was run at a slow pace. This obviously won't. We think we'll be a lot better suited by the fast pace here. We've done a lot of schooling at home, and he'll love it here. No excuses.
And the ground, I mean, obviously we've had this bit of rain, gone to good to soft. Is that all right?
No, that's absolutely fine. No excuses at all.
Okay. And you've got some other good chances as well later on this afternoon. You've got one in Leduc in the cross-country race. Yeah,
I mean, he's a bit of a quirk. He came third last year. He's considerably better off this year as far as the weights are concerned. I think probably the best chance today would be Off Dara in the William Hill. He will love the conditions here. It's a slight bit of give underground. And, you know, he's a course and distance winner.
For sure. Well, listen, let's hope you get your name on the board. It's much deserved if you do.
Thank you, Alice.
Well, Ruby Walsh leading the jockeys out for the opening race, and even the most seasoned professionals, a few butterflies going. Shots to the weighing room earlier, very different to the ones you'll see on the end of Friday. There are 136 empty bottles of champagne in the weighing room after the Gold Cup last year.
Our jockey's just beginning to come out into the paddock, and just a slightly tense time, but most of them will be 100 times better as soon as you get the leg up, get on the way down to the start. And I can't remember this race being so wide open for a long, long time. There's a lot of really good novices in here.
Yeah, a lot of lately race novices as well.
Well, with me now, Captain CB's trainer, Eddie Harty. Eddie, first runner here, how are the nerves doing?
Not too bad. I thought they'd be worse. They're not great now, mate.
Now, AP's chosen Binocular, but you've put up a real Cheltenham specialist in Chalkthorns.
Yeah, AP made the choice yesterday. I was talking to him there half an hour ago. He said it was a very, very difficult choice. He made a lot of phone calls, and when the rain came yesterday, he plumped for Binocular. We got Chalk. I think Chalk was leading jockey here last year. He'll do me any day. So
well, you missed a race with this fella, Captain CB, and you've kept him lightly raced. How did he come over? How's he travel?
Travelled fantastic. Came over on Friday night, arrived here Saturday morning, and seems to love the place. He's taken it in. He's looked at everything, and he's happy. He loves it.
Well, first run. I hope it's first blood to the Irish. Best of luck, Eddie.
Thanks, Alistair.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, you could have 10 stabs at this, but anyway, let's move through these, beginning with an ex-flat racer and a top-class one at that as well, Blue Bayesian, 33-1. Disappointed in the Tote Gold Trophy last time. Richard Hughes rode him. Shame the rain's come for him.
Number 2, Calgary Bay, is an out-and-out bred National Hunt horse with the scope to make a chaser. He's useful over hurdles and more than entitled to run, but I think there'll be 1 or 2 too good for him.
3 is Captain CB. One of many Irishes with a big chance. This horse was very impressive in 2 wins. Doesn't like it too soft. A lot of speed. Bound to run a big race. And 4 behind him is Cork All-Star. This horse is a winner here last year when he won the Champion Bumper. Won his maiden well. Jumping just let him down a little bit in his last 3 runs. I'd like to see him jump smarter. No worry about his ability. Just his jumping to me is just questionable.
Yeah, jumping's been a problem for this horse too, even though he was unbeaten in the early part of the season. Beat all home bar Breeds Breeze at Sandown. Again, like Blue Bayesian, shame the rain's come for him.
Kalahari King is an ex-French flat horse, a useful level of ability on the level. Looked a good prospect when winning at Musselburgh on his second start, but hasn't confirmed that in 2 runs since.
Khyber Kim, trained by Nicky Henderson, good horse for Henry Candy on the flat, and he's looked to be a good horse, just damaged a leg early on, but made an impressive debut and then disappointed at Doncaster last time, but he's well fancied today.
Number 6 or 8 is Muirhead, another strong fancy, 8-1 co-favourite in the last show. This fella did it nicely at Fairyhouse when he beat Cork All-Star. Hasn't run since. Noel's horses were out of sorts a little bit in January. He's lightly raced, but he's a quality horse.
Northern Bay.
Northern Bay, Tom Doyle's horse. This horse is a bit defined on any of his runs. He's entitled probably to take his chance on Griffin's runner, but on any of his, he'd want to improve on what we've seen at home to worry the main contenders.
New Mead is a useful horse. He's won twice so far at Leicester and Folkestone, both easy successes. To some extent, limitations exposed at Kempton last time, but they fitted cheek pieces today, so they obviously weren't happy with that.
Pascoe's easy to spot. Bright Grey, really impressive in his last 2 wins, both at Newbury. Wouldn't have been an easy choice for Ruby Walsh, this one. He's a 16-1 shot for Sam Thomas.
Pigeon Island has been a revelation this season. He's had a total runs over hurdle of 23 in 2 seasons. Done really well, has some of the best form lines, but I think 1 or 2 will improve past him today.
Cortano finished behind Pigeon Island at Kempton. He's got 1 or 2 useful bits of form. As an individual, he's really nice. He's a proper chasing type. 100-1 shot, but he shouldn't be.
On the other hand, as you'd expect, Rippling Ring is more of a flatbred type. He's by Saumarez, who was a leggy horse himself on the Arc. Good form on the flat in South Africa, and a very promising debut against ordinary horses at Doncaster last month.
Yeah, another one who comes into the same category, very impressive at Doncaster, Sentry Duty, and he's the mount this afternoon of Andrew Tingler. Quite lightly raced.
Snap Tie comes here nice and fresh. He hasn't run since the middle of December. He's had 3 runs over hurdles and shaped well each time, winning the first of them. He's more than entitled to run here. Couldn't reach a place.
Suffolk Hills, well, he ran well here last year in the big championship bumper behind Cork All-Star. Hasn't been quite as good over hurdles. He is a winner over hurdles, but he got a little disappointing on very heavy ground at Punchestown last time. He won't have appreciated the rain, but he likes the track.
Yeah, didn't get much of a run in the bumper last year. This is a nice horse, Striking Article, and he got beaten last time out. Not quite sure what went wrong with him, but before that he looked really impressive. He's 80 to 1. The gloves are off, and there's money for this horse a little while ago. He's not the most impressive looker, though, is he, Ted?
No, but he was a very impressive winner at Gordon, and then just was sort of behind Larkwing. He found that if that's as good as he is, he won't be good enough to win this. Next we see is Tranquil Sea, Edward O'Grady's horse. He's run some good races. He ran right up behind the best of them on his last time up at Leopardstown. He's bound to run a big race, and Edward has a terrific record here. His horses always run up to scratch.
We're to the younger brigade now. Binocular, one of 2 4-year-olds in the lineup. He gets an £8 weight for age allowance because of that, but he doesn't look a young horse. Physically, he's very strong. He's won his last 2 starts, jumped well first time, not so well last time.
Yeah, very impressive. A little bit stronger build than this horse, Lemon Silk, who ran well enough at Wincanton behind Catcher. He's beaten a long way, but acquitted himself well. His jumping just fell apart a bit in the end. He's 125 to 1 shot.
Well, the crowd's taking their position for the opener. The betting, Muirhead, 8 to 1, heads to market along with Pigeon Island. Local money as well, I would imagine, for Nigel Twiston-Davies and Binocular. And they are really bashing away at the top of the market. The Gloves Are Off is a runner in this. What finer name for a runner in the opener at the Cheltenham Festival. Time for a break.
Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing. Dubai Holding, proud to sponsor Channel 4 Racing.
Welcome back to Cheltenham, everybody. Just minutes from the Supreme Novices. And, of course, no pressure on a certain member of the team, the one we have yet to see. Good afternoon to Simon Holt.
Afternoon, Alistair. Afternoon, all. And the atmosphere really building up here. 8 to 1 the field in this first race. It couldn't be more competitive. And as Alistair said before the break, a horse called The Gloves Are Off, and the talking is about to stop here. Let's catch the eye catchers. Quartano and Striking Article for our paddock team. On the way to the post, Khyber Kim and Muirhead both caught the eye. In the ring, Positives, Pigeon Island and Binocular. And on the exchanges, the same 2 horses.